that? What is going on here? Okay, there we go. Weird things happening, folks. Weird things happening. I don't know what's up. But anywho, this is what we have going on as far as Paper Pumpkin goes. If you are hanging out with us, please go ahead and say hello so we know you're here. Also wanted to remind everybody that in beginning of the month, we did have a drop for our new online exclusives, and those are here. Just to give you a quick peek, we had lots of stuff drop for the beginning of November. All kinds of goodness that might be interesting to you. I will share quickly, see if I can find it, the QR code. There it is. So this is the QR code that will take you directly to the online exclusives if you'd like to see them. Just grab this with your camera on your phone, and you should be able to see all of what's available to you. Again, the online exclusives you will not see in any catalog. They are strictly online. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, again, the card genie. And I'm going to bring that QR code. So if you use this QR code, that will take you directly to get the card genie. That will allow you to put in, if you have a stamp set you're not sure what to do with, you can put that in. They'll give you some ideas. If you tell it a specific fun fold you would like to do, it'll give you the measurements for cutting and scoring. So again, the Card Genie is just a fun little tool that I created for you to help with your creativity. So again, if you just use your camera on your smartphone or tablet, this will take you directly to the Card Genie. You do need a free ChatGPT account to use it, but again, it's a really quick, easy, fun thing to use. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we are going to come back here. All right, so tonight we are featuring an entire suite of product called the Traditions of Christmas. This particular suite does oh, I didn't bring the paper over with me. Oh, goodness gracious. It's gorgeous paper. Let me just grab that quick here so I can show that with all the rest of the products. Okay. So you get this 12 by 12 paper. It has 2 bundles. So you get the Christmas greenery bundle, as well as the traditional labels bundle. You get these traditional sparkling sequins, which are gorgeous, and then this beautiful real red ribbon. So that is all part of the entire suite of product. All right. So for this, I did create 3 very quick and simple cards because I know we like to kind of keep things simple around here. So we have our Merry and Bright, and I did do non-traditional colors. I brought out that bubble gum, or not, bubble bath. It's called Bubble Bath Pink. We got the real red. We got some cherry cobbler in there. I used real red ink with our real red ribbon here, which is very, very pretty. There's got some shimmer to that ribbon. Card number 2, did some easy, simple stamping. Added a little bit of Winka Stella here and added some greenery. And then I'm going to show you where to get these really awesome. Hey, Sherry, glad you could join us. Gold verses here. We got some sequins in there. So pretty. And then the final one, we did do some die cutting from our designer series paper. Again, love when Stampin' Up! Does that. Designs our paper to coordinate with our dies. We have our season's greetings, and again, some more of our pretty sequins. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but we do have vellum back in the building. Vellum did retire there for a while, but now it is back, but it's now 12 by 12. So we did bring some of that vellum in just to tone down our paper a little bit. So if you are ready, we're going to go ahead and start creating. So get everything out of the way here. This paper is to die for. As you can see, I've been using a lot of it. I do have my extra vellum pieces in here from designing, but I've used a ton of this paper because it is so perfect for Christmas season. I think today is the first time I've actually used the elegant gold foiled side because I've been using the flat patterned sides for the most part. So we have this one here. The back side has this beautiful poinsettia and these little Christmas flowers. And we have the secret C. Then this side has more beautiful floral. We have the green. And then these beautiful florals. And I did die cut from here. And then we have these sheets. Again, just gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And I've almost gone through an entire pack, and I've actually got a second one ready to go. Oh, hey, Sue. So glad you could join. All right. So first up, let's grab our sherry. And we're going to get our kit here that I put together. So we're starting with a bubble bath card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're just going to fold that and grab our bone folder and burnish that for a nice crisp fold. Then I have a piece of old olive, and this measures 5 by 3 3/4. And that's going to be our layering piece. And then I have 2 pieces of the designer series paper. And these are each 2 1/4 by 3 5/8. Or 7/8. Sorry, that 3 7/8. Right? No. 5/8. That was right. And that's going to go top. And we just get the smallest little border. I do have a little gap in the middle, but that is not going to be seen because our ribbon will cover that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our adhesive and maybe, there we go. So again, 3 equal borders, and we have just a smidgen of a border with our old olive. So there's that piece, and now we want the solid poinsettia piece here. And again, this goes to the bottom with just a very minimal border. Again, you want 3 equal borders. And like I said, that little gap there in the center, never going to see it because we're going to bring in that beautiful red ribbon. And that is going to completely hide that little gap. There we go. And then where are my tweezers? Way back here. We know we like our tweezers to act as our third hand. And it is pouring out. Oh, hi, Bentley. So glad you could join us. On this channel, Bentley, we are card makers. Okay. Oh, hey, Deb. Didn't even see you pop on there. Now we're just going to fuss just a little bit with our bow to make sure everything's nice and pretty equal. Then we're going to bring in our big scissors here. And we're going to cut our ribbon tails. All right. And that can go into the garbage. This is going to get out of the way. So there is our little card panel here. We need our dimensionals. Oh, hey, sis. I didn't even see you pop in either. I probably got a little overboard with the dimensionals on this one, but nobody likes saggy centers, so hence the extra dimensionals for this one. So we're going to go ahead and remove those backers. All right. And now we're just going to center this onto our card front. Let's try to get it straight. There we go. Looks pretty good. Slide that back up. There we are. All right. Then I have here a little piece of scrap basic white. And for that, we're going to stamp Merry and Bright. There it is. Oop. Merry and bright. So we're going to start with our and bright, because when we're building our sentiments, when I'm stacking them, I usually like to start with the bottom and work my way up in order to make sure that we keep enough room for everything. So I just need a real red ink pad. And we're going to start with and bright. I want to make sure that I'm high enough for the die cut, but low enough we fit everything in. All right, there's and bright. And now we're going to do Mary. And Mary's going to come down like so. I'm going to close up our ink pad. Clean our stamps off real quick. I have the chamois right here next to me. And we need our label dies. These are the traditional labels. And we're going to use this here oval. And we're going to die cut. So we need our little baby boss. I think the heavens just opened up out there. It's really pouring now. Paper, die. I'm going to try to get that centered. Top plate. And run it through. Oh, hey, Laura. There we go. So there. All right. So this little piece goes into our garbage. And for this one, we need our dimensionals again. And we're just going to use 2. One here at the top and bottom. So we're going to straddle our ribbon. So we have Merry and Bright. And that goes on just like so. And then we have our beautiful sequins here. These are the sparkling, traditional sparkling sequins. And we need your, take your pick tool. And we're just going to use our gold. And I'm going to use a little one right there. A large one there. And we'll use a medium one right there. And that completes our first card already. That's how quickly that comes together. Again, the paper does all the work for you. You throw in a sentiment, little ribbon, a few sparklies, and you are good to go. And again, feel free to experiment with the colors. There was some bubble bath here in the paper, so I decided to use a play on that by bringing in the bubble bath card base. So again, you can feel free to not necessarily use your traditional greens and reds. All right. we are moving on to our second card already, which is another fun one. In this one here, we used a pool party card base. So I'm going to grab that. And that is also 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Going to use our bone folder, and we are going to go ahead and press that out. All right. Next, I have a piece of basic white that measures 5 by 3 3/4. And I ran it through the embossing folder already, the Forever Plaid. So I did that ahead of time. Because this is a big folder, it's a 3D folder also. I had to use the Big Boss. So I did that ahead of time because I left the Big Boss in its normal home rather than moving it around because it's a little on the heavy side. But it's all set. And once again, we're going to use some dimensionals. Again, one in all 4 corners. And we'll add one to the center. Because again, no droopy, saggy centers for us. Okay. So this is just going to go right into the center of our card. So you get 4 equal borders. Like so. All right. Next, I went ahead and I've already die cut out the greenery, which are these here sprigs, and these are part of the dies, the Christmas greenery dies. You have this long spriggy thing. This is the die I use for those. You've also got this leaf. There's holly leaves, holly berries. There's this here, which we are going to be using for this card. There's a ribbon, 2 flowers, a little sprig here, and a little leaf here, which we did not use. But these all coordinate with the stamp set. And we're going to do a little haircut with these when we're ready. So those are there and set aside because we got that all set. Then I have a piece of basic white that we're going to do some stamping on. And I have here my stamp. And now the question, there it is. We need our Memento Black ink. Because this is just an outline. I go ahead and ink this stamp up really well. And this is a large photopolymer stamp. So because it is on the larger side, it does require a good amount of even pressure to get a good impression. And the best way to get a good impression with your photopolymer is to use a cushion. So I do have my Stampin' Pierce mat over here with me. And we are going to go ahead and put that down. Put our paper on top. And then we can go ahead and stamp. We want to make sure all of that ink transfers to our paper. Doop. And you don't want to drop on here, but that's okay. A lot of that is never going to be seen because we're die cutting that out. Now, this set, you could easily pull in your Stampin' Blends and do all kinds of fun coloring. You could get really detailed with your shading. But once again, Stampin' Up! Has made it very easy for us. They have given us stamps that will allow us to fill in and color our image. All right, so we're going to start with the Real Red. And that is going to do our poinsettia. All right, so we're going to get our poinsettia here. Now you're going to notice there's these two little pieces that kind of kick out from the flower. And those are where you're going to line up. Actually, let's do it this way. You'll see where the petals or the petals kind of wrap on this flower here. So these are the two areas that you're going to kind of line this up with. So we're going to go ahead, ink up. Okay, now I want to be able to see. So as long as I get that there, and that there, I should be pretty close. And it doesn't have to be exact, but not too bad. All right, so we're done with the Real Red. So we can set that aside. Next, we want, let's do the bubble bath, which is going to be this here flower. And let's see. Yeah. We're going to ink that up in bubble bath. And that lines up like so. And then we have this flower here. And there it goes that way. Okay. Just have to kind of look to see how it lines up. And we're pretty good. So there's that one. Next, we'll use the pool party. And that'll do the remainder of our flowers. So let's see. That one's going to go like there. And there. So there are our pool party flowers. And next, we're going to do our greeneries. So for that, we're using our old olive. And we have these little 3-leaf go in there. so much faster than trying to color these in. But again, like I said, if you find coloring relaxing, you absolutely can grab your alcohol markers and set to color them in. And like I said, then you can get fancy with the shading and highlighting. But I thought this was just as nice. All right, so now I have these little sprig. Oh, looks like I missed some leaves, so I gotta go back and grab that one again. But let's do these first. Like so. And where did I put that leaf? There it is. That's gonna. There we are. Okay. So that finishes filling that in. So we're going to close up our old olive. And we are going to find our die, which is this one here. Well, thank you, sis. And I'm going to grab a little bit of Post-it tape here. I have some pieces here. So we're just going to go ahead, get everything lined up. There we go. Like that. Bring back our baby boss. All right, where did I put the? Here they are. There we go. All right, now we can remove that. That can go into the garbage. And now we can bring back our card. Now, for this here, I need my snips. Where'd they go? We're going to do a little haircut because these are going to go up here in the corner and then down in this corner, but they're way too long. So I am just going to take my snips and take a little trim. And we'll take care of that. And then this one we'll trim here. There we go. Where did our little glue go? Nope, you see it. Nope, that ain't it. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. Oh, you see it now. Okay. So we're just going to take a little glue and we're going to drop little bits of glue. And that's going to go in that corner. And then this one. In this corner. Okay. So we're now going to tap our glue down, cover that up, and then we need dimensionals. Peel those backings away. All right, and then this is just going to go in at an angle like so. This is where I brought in the Wink of Stella. So we're just going to take a little Wink of Stella and paint that onto our poinsettia. Poinsettia. They really do know how to speak English, just not tonight. There we go. So now our flower has some sparkle to it. All right. And then, I don't know if you realized, but Stampin' Up! Has this little packet of Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. And it has all of these beautiful greetings in gold foil. And you get quite a few, actually. They're kind of on the thicker side, but there's several sheets. Not exactly sure. 6 sheets. And that's what I used for my greeting. I used the Seasons Greetings. And what I did is I added a dimensional. And these, I believe, are actually, they're stickers. So there is a split here, but I'm going to put on this side, I'm going to put a dimensional. I'm not even going to peel the backing off it. But where's my, I just had the take your pick tool. Here it is. We're going to use this side to remove the backing on that end. And that is going to set right there, like so. Then we bring back our sequins. We have a pretty blue. We use the green. and a gold. Put that right there. And that completes our second gold card. Oh no, Deb. That's a bummer because they are handy dandy. And like I said, they are beautiful. Like I said, with that gold foiling. And it just makes for elegant, quick, and easy cards. All right. So we are moving on to our final card already. Like I said, these are quick and easy. Our final card here is our season's greetings. And so for this one, I started with a thick, basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4.25. We'll fold on that score line. And as always, furnish that out with our bone folder to get a nice, crisp edge or fold. Okay. Then I have a piece of that gorgeous designer paper. Again, it's this one here with these pretty much solid red with the gold foiling. The back side has the green check. And this measures 4 by 5.25, so it's a perfect layer for the front of our card. And of course, that goes on the center. A little bit crooked, so we're going to see if we can't puff that up. There we go. If you ever get your paper stuck down, seal is a really good adhesive, but you can puff it up. There we go. That's going to be better. Okay. So there's our card layer. All right. I did go ahead and I did die cut a piece of vellum ahead of time. And I used for the vellum, I used our textured notes dies. And I used this one here. It's the third largest. If you were to count from the outside in, it would be the number 3 die. I got a magnet for these because these are falling all over the place, but that would be number 3. And for that, all I did is I took a little bit of my adhesive and I ran it right down the center, because most adhesives, our seal included, will show through vellum. So you're going to see this. I'm going to set this right down in the center of our card base here. And you can see that. However, I did die cut from our designer series paper. I used this particular pattern. I grabbed the ones that had the pink in it. But there's more paper, more of these bouquets you can cut out of this paper. You could cut a whole stack of bouquets between the pool party, the bubble bath, and the real red and cherry cobbler combo. You could have stacks and stacks ready to go to make a ton of these here cards if you wanted to. But I went ahead and I die cut my bubble bath with the real red and cherry cobbler. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add dimensionals. And Fatter buddy, you want up there? Come out. Just a moment. Tucker needs help getting into his little chair. There you go. Sorry about that. But doggy duty calls, huh? Yeah. He's a mama's boy. Hanging out with mama today. All right. So there we go. So we're going to put that down right there. So now you'll never see that adhesive coming through our vellum at all. So we're good. Then I have a scrap piece of basic white. And for this one, I am going to stamp Season's Greetings. So again, we're going to need our real red ink pad. Excuse me. We're going to ink that up. So it says Season's Greetings, and we're going to go ahead and stamp Season's Greetings. And clean that off. Next, we want, from our dies, we're going to use this die here. And that lines up just a minute. Yeah, that looks better. Like so. All right, so now we're going to grab more of our Post-it tape. Bring back the baby boss. We need our plates. And run them through. All right, so now we can remove our tape. And we have our Season's Greetings. And dimensionals. 2 will do. Peel the backings. Center. And then more of these beautiful little sequins. And the gold. And that finishes this evening's cards. Not bad, huh? All right, we'll do a real quick recap. This is our final card here. Thank you. There was number 2. And here was our first Merry and Bright. Well, that's all I have for you, ladies. Again, thank you so very much for coming to hang out with me. I really, truly appreciate you. I want to wish everyone a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. I am certainly grateful for each and every one of you. I will not be live next Sunday. I'm going to take that off for the holiday weekend. Spend with hubby. I do want to let you know I do have a Black Friday special coming. And actually Stampin' Up does too. Theirs actually starts on the 25th. You'll be able to save 40% on select product, so be looking for that. So starting the 25th through, I believe, December 1st, you'll save 40% on select product. And in addition, for me, Black Friday through Cyber Monday, you will be able to get a mystery box. That is my Black Friday special. So for a $50 order, your mystery box will contain $75 worth of product. If you place a $75 order, your mystery box will have $100 in product. For a $100 order, you'll get $125 worth of mystery product. So it goes up in $25 increments starting with a $50 order. And that will be from Friday, Black Friday through Cyber Monday, midnight Eastern time. So from then to then, you'll have that little stretch to place an order, $50 or more, and you'll get a mystery box in the mail. You will have to pay postage for the mystery box, but the product itself inside is my gift to you as a Black Friday special. All right, my friends, be on the lookout. I will be mailing out the details of that Black Friday special. That will be coming over the next day or so. In the meantime, like I said, have a fabulous rest of your evening, an even better week ahead. And I do wish you all a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. Until I see you again, bye for now.